Flosstube. It's me, Michelle, known here and on Instagram as the Chinook Crafter. It is good to be back. It has been a while. So, thank you for coming back. I know it's been a hot minute, and I appreciate everyone that has reached out to me on Instagram and just been chatting with me as, you know, the long absence, the long unplanned absence, I guess is the way to say it. For those that are new here, this is a channel primarily about cross-stitch, although I do occasionally talk about other crafts and books at the end. And you will also get guest appearances from my baby, my toddler, and my cats, because that is life. You will probably hear them. You know, you summon the devil. Yeah. You'll probably hear the toddler outside. We just got a water table on a play castle thing off of Buy Nothing, so my partner's out there with her, and she's having the time of her life, so happy shrieks. And the baby, who just learned to roll over, holy crap, where does time go? She's just right there playing on her mat, so you might hear some toys jingling, and I'm hoping to get through this while she's happy and content, because I know people think it's cute to see the back of her head, but it does make the holding things up a little awkward for me sometimes. So, I guess I'll just start off with why I've been away. So I had a lot of plans. If you were following me on Instagram, I was posting really consistently, and I was getting lots of stuff to show you. And then my toddler made me sick. I mean, that's what happens. She had a minor cold. I had a bad cold. So that slowed me down because, you know, I wasn't stitching every day because I was miserable. I am asthmatic, and I think it's called like viral asthmatic. So like when I'm sick, it makes my cough like 10 times worse. So I was miserable. So this was my Mother's Day. This was my birthday. I was dying. And then I live in Alberta, and northern Alberta has been on fire for the last 10 days. Like, it's just getting better now. So it was far enough away. We heard about it. We're concerned about it, but it wasn't a direct impact on our life. But then the smoke was blowing down, and I was already having with weakened lungs with the cold, so I was dying, like asthmatic wheeze nonstop. Like, we were stuck indoors. The air quality was so incredibly poor. I think like on the scale it was 10 plus. And so of course the toddler, my toddler, she didn't understand why she couldn't go outside and play, and so she was going feral. She's cutting her molars, and so like we couldn't go outside and play. I was trying to keep her busy, but being sick, and you know, we spent a lot of time outdoors and just couldn't do bupkis, and it was awful. So I had been at my parents for a week, and I ended up just turning right back around because they're further south, and so their quality was much better. They have the fenced backyard, so just a better situation all around. So that's where I've been because, you know, health and air quality and all that stuff, that was more important. And the air quality still isn't great. I think we're now like a 3. We're hovering between a 3 to a 4 most days, which not great. Like, obviously there's still smoky haze, and you can still kind of go, someone barbecuing, you know? But it is a lot better. So came back home because obviously my partner misses the kids and me while we're away, and I can't do much while I'm at my parents' house. Like, it's fantastic. I have all the spare hands to help with the kids, but I have to do a lot more chasing around and, you know, monitoring and keeping things in check. And on that note, too, I'm trying out a new way of filming today. I usually film with the camera and then upload into the computer, but we're just trying directly on the computer. See how the audio, see how the quality goes. I am liking that I can actually see myself, and so I know if I'm holding things on screen or not. So, like I said, we'll see how that goes for us. So that's what happened. And so today is just after lunch on May 27th. And I just want to show you everything I worked on for the whole month of May, because it has been a busy May. And I guess I'll start with the biggest news, because this is the most recent news, but it's really big. I'm in for Stitch North week 2. I was very anxious all morning. My ADHD and like time, if I have an appointment at, you know, a certain time, I can't do anything until that appointment happens. So I was just, even though I had an alarm set, I was watching the clock, and I don't know, I was anxious I was going to sell out like Taylor Swift tickets. I don't know. I was just anxious about it. But now I'm registered for week 2. It's almost a year away, so like 11 months away. So we'll see what happens between now and 11 months. But for now, I'm registered for week 2, and I'm very excited. And I'll have to start maybe saving like $5-10 a week so I can go crazy on the haul there. That'll be fun. Okay, sorry. Baby's starting to fuss a little bit, so I'm gonna move right along with this. So I'm just gonna start with everything I stitched on. I had a surprising amount of haul this week. Yes, it was 3 weeks, but I don't buy things. I just got very lucky in some regards. So I'm going to show that and talk a little bit about the books I've read. Not that that was too exciting, so yeah. So I'll start with the first one I worked on. I have still my needle stuck in it, so let me just grab that. And this is the one that has been every single Flosstube. It is the January part of the Life is Sweet Stitch Along, hosted by LolaCrowCrossStitch magazine by Durene Jones. I am done the cross stitching. I am working on the back stitch. I've just done the little peach and a bit of the leaf there. I love what she does with her back stitch. She has a real talent for, like, her back stitching is just so delicate and just really outlines things well. So that's where I'm at now. I was back stitching and it just kind of got abandoned. I was, you know, I'm enjoying the stitch along, but my cats are fighting and just jumped on the table. Well, it's always chaos. It's always chaos. Okay, so I do enjoy stitching this. I think it's going to be, like, very cute. It's just like I'm the only one stitching on it. There's no... I don't have a community about it, so I'm just kind of doing it at my own time frame. So it kind of gets pushed to the end of a lot of projects. It is what it is. It will... I mean, the releases are now up to June or July, like, and I'm just like, yep, sweet, this will happen when it happens. These aren't in order that I did them. I just pulled a pile there. Oh, hi, buddy. Okay. I watched Britches Get Stitches video this morning because she so handily updated. She was like, I need to clean my craft room. And I was like, I need to too, like my little craft desk. But the thing is, I keep everything that I've worked on like in like a little pile, so that when I come to film, I just have to grab the pile and stick it here, and I don't have to like go and hunt things. But it's been 3 weeks, so it's been excessive, and so it's high up. Hi, honey. Oh, hello. Okay, the baby is fussing, so I will be right back once I've put on the wrap. Yeah, I would just, if this was alive, I would leave him to entertain you, but this is not alive, so I'm gonna have to go get my baby. Yes, you are first, baby. I don't know why he's so affectionate now. Okay, buddy, I gotta go get the baby. Okay, so I am back with the baby. She just turned 4 months, learned how to roll over. Yes, you did. And now it gets stuck frequently and upset about it, so it's life. Yes. So I hope you all like happy giggly baby sounds. Yes, she did just have a nap, so I'm expecting that she'll be awake this whole time. Oh, so, I mean, this is life, you know. Yeah, and this also isn't the greatest wrap job. I would not recommend wrapping like this, but I knew I was just going to be sitting on this chair and was more about just having a hands-free rather than, you know, most proper baby-wearing job. And it doesn't even matter because she likes to throw her head back anyways, so yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, sorry. I love my baby girl so much. Yeah. But you do get in the way of cross-stitching. You do. Actually, it's funny. She gets really annoyed if I'm using the bigger Q-snap, and she'll kick at her. I'm trying to count, and I'll be like, okay, I've got to count out 18 spaces on this thing. You know, this 28 counts. I'm like, and I'll be at 17, and then like this little foot will be, and it's like, well, I don't know where I was. Do you need to be involved in noisy too? Chaos. It's not even my own chaos sometimes. So, like, back to what I was talking about. I was talking about my projects, and mentioned I'd stitched on a lot of things. My idea for Stitch Mayhem was I was going to start the stuff I was excited about, but I was also going to try and pick up older projects and just spend a day or two working on them. And that was fun. Like, it was nice to, you know, touch things again and figure out what I was interested in and wanting to stitch. And I guess I'll talk about this then before I keep showing off the patterns, because maybe she'll fall asleep and I'll have a hand free to show things off. I was trying out, so I have an Apple phone and an Apple tablet, an iPad, so I was trying out the 2-week trial of the Markup RXP, and I enjoyed it. It was good. There was like a learning curve. The only thing I didn't like was that there was a subscription fee rather than like a one-time purchase. And then my partner has a Samsung tablet that he doesn't really use, so he offered to let me use that so I could try Pattern Keeper, and then I could kind of decide like where I was going to go with my purchase, because I do need a new tablet. And the paper crinkling is my other cat. You know, just free ASMR for you all. Just paper crinkle. Good sir. Figure it out. So yeah, so I was trying both of them. I like both of them. They're both decent, solid apps, and I really enjoy marking out my stitches and seeing that you're 20% done and, you know, you have this much, and, like, finding all the color, because that's really hard to do with paper. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm going to be sticking with Pattern Keeper just because we have the tablet's an upgrade from my iPad, and it's cheaper one-time use project, like fee for the Pattern Keeper than it is for, what's it called? Market Bar XP, and then a lot of designers already support Pattern Keeper, so that's good. Okay, here we go. Okay, so moving on, I brought out a Love Bug sampler again, and so this is where I'm at. Yeah, so I started in on like the big cicada, big bug I don't want to know the name of, down there. So I was working on that, and this little motif right here. Yeah. My cats are not full of love right now. They want to go out and play, and they're not going out and playing because that is not responsible pet ownership. So yeah, so I was working on that. I enjoy it. I want to get it done. I like the pink on pink, and it's just I like new. I like chasing the dopamine of new starts. So then it gets pushed to the side. So I just have to consistently remember to work on that. We're going to have a little bit of a pigeon coop designs right now. I worked on Orca Bay. I did not get to, oh, I did take it out of the hoop. All right. I didn't get too far on this one. I just added more of the blue water. So there's that. Because I already had most of this done, so I just added some more of the water waves. Stop trying to escape. Yeah. So just work on that, because, you know, it's nice. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful geometric piece, and just gotta work on it, you know? Yeah. Here, I've got too many pigeon coop kits, as you'll quickly see, and so I just need to focus on getting them done. This is I'd Rather Be Hiking, and this is where I got to it. I've mostly done filling in all the mountains, which, I mean, once the mountains are done, it's some letters and some back stitching, so this will be fast. I could probably finish this off in like 2-3 days if I focused on it, but I don't have focus. I'm too interested in other things. Yes. I'm sorry for baby talking to you guys. You're all my, you know, I'm just like, oh yes, here's what I'm doing on my grass stitch. But I have no free time in my life. Like, if I did not film this now, it would be another week, 2 weeks until I got an opportunity, so I'd rather have a happy baby than film and then not do any of this at all. This one is I'd Rather Be Camping, also by Pigeon Coop. That's what it looks like when it's... Oh, I know, we are going to go camping this summer. Alright, so I had the tent done last time, and I finished the tree poles. I didn't do too much on this one. This was mostly my, something to have in the car while we were driving to and from my parents' place. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're going to take a pause. Alright, back again. I have passed the baby off to my partner. He wanted to really focus on playing with our toddler, tying her out for a nap outside. And I was like, oh yeah, like the baby's chill. It'll be fine. I can handle this. And she decided that she was wanting to party and chat. And so she can party and chat outside with her sister and her baba. Alright. So now I just have the cats are worked out because everyone's outside and they want to be outside. It's chaos. I don't know. Like, this is why sometimes nothing gets done. I have, you know, what's this quiet evenings at home? What is this, you know, relaxing time without your children all over you and the cats all over you? So those were ones I worked on. Oh, that's not all. I've got 2 more that I worked on. There we go. I worked a little bit more on my Big Bad Heart Saw, which is it's just called the Heart Sampler, and it's by Big Bad Vibes on Etsy. And I know me and Megan of the Long Distance Stitchers, as if they're not both named Megan. Me and Megan from Long Distance Stitchers, we are both decided to do this, and Miriam of My Roomy Crafts. So we are all like, oh yes, this is a beautiful thing, and so we're working on it. So this is what I got. It is, like, I think, helps if I hold it the right way up. This is like 3% of it. It's a small start. That's one of the enjoyable things about Pattern Keeper. I'm like, oh, look, you're 3% done. Yep. It's gorgeous. I'll have this done for Valentine's Day. You know, at this rate. And another one that you've all seen before and keeps popping up. Let me just fold it nicer. This is one of the ones where I was actually really enjoying having Pattern Keeper and markup. This is Death to the Dictator by Crafty Yams. Look at that. You can see that there's more going on now. Yeah, and this was just really nice because I was previously just doing it with the paper and highlighter, but with the apps it's so handy because I can pick the color and I can see like the little pathway I have to travel. So I was actually filled in quite a bit down here and over here because, you know, I wasn't having to hunt for symbols with my, you know, it was all highlights. I was like, oh, do. So yes, something like this. Love these apps for. Fantastic. And she is coming along. I have to upload her into Pattern Keeper because I had her on markup and see my percentage. I know. My brain likes these things. So now we're going to go on to the new starts, of which there are many because I treated myself. Buddy. That is, yeah. You know, this here, if you didn't catch this, I have a black cat. And this right here is a black cat piece I am working on. A piece of sparkly opalescent Ida I dyed myself. It is Le Chat and Le Lune Noir. No, Le Lune and Le Chat Noir. And it is by CurioCabinetsCrafts. And I won this in her little Instagram giveaway. Like, I got to pick a free pattern, and it'll be a black cat with the moon. And for some reason, I like my black cat, so I like to stitch things for him. So yeah, so I'm working on that. It's really interesting. I think, let's see if I can, like, really hold that up there. Okay, this little middle bit here, she's got a very interesting technique where she has you stitch the one color, like the one leg of the cross stitch, and then you stitch black over top to make it like a, you know, like this, like, modeled, variegated, you know, more realistic cat fur effect. So yeah, I'm really liking how it's looking. It's just kind of messes with my head a little bit because, you know, it's not a blend, it's not this, so I have to like be like, oh, okay, you know, bring the other color back in. And then I started something because I was saying I had way too many MamaWitchXStitch projects. So I started on MamaWitch Monday. So I'm just every Monday I'm going to work on one of her pieces because I have so many, and this is my way of just making small, consistent progress. And so this is where I'm at on small bunnies. Star bunny, since you saw it last. I've almost got the bunny done. Just got a little bit of butt here to fill out. Just a little bunny butt. And then there's like some mushrooms underneath, and then it's done. So I'll be another 2 days. I know I'm missing the one green, and I should have did it on my last Michael's order, and I wasn't thinking about it. So it'll be mostly done, probably, except missing one color. And I might substitute something already in my stash, or I might just wait. I kind of go back and forth on how I feel about that. And then I did 3 starts for from the Earth Day collection from the Stitchers Collective. I'm going to be starting more. I just haven't quite gotten my ducks in a row about those. So I started the Arctic Friends by FlossyFoxShop. They're so cute. They're just so cute little foxes. And yeah, just navy Ida I had. So just started on that. It was cute. It was easy. This might become a car project because there's only a couple colors and it's very simple pixelated art. So I started that. I started... Oh gosh, I don't know what all these patterns are called. That's going to be bad. I know this one is a quote. Oh, it actually they'll show up better than I thought. And it is from Michelle from Bendy Stitchy Designs. She is amazing. And so it's just a nice little quote. Like, the earth is a fine place and worth fighting for. So I got all this done in one day, which I thought was nice. And this is just like a little bit of scrap Ida. And it's looking very cute, and I'm a fan of that. And again, I could probably get this done in a day or 2 if I knew what focus was. And this is from Quaternion Creations. Quaternion. I have no idea how to pronounce it. There's a Q and R's, and so peanut butter in my mouth. And yes, and this is Mother Earth, and it's on. I'm using the Call for Sulky Blendables because you know I love them. And it's going to be Mother Earth, so that's her hair, and like this is half the Earth right here. And again, for 1 day's progress, I'm pretty happy with that. And she's very cute. And I just enjoy stitching. Like, actually, let me get closer in there with that. Like, look at that variegation. This is so nice. That's the nice bit about Sulky Blundables. They just stitch like a dream. And so those are some of my new starts. Oops, and I just flung a needle, so I'm grabbing that before I lose it. This one I think is kind of funny. So it was my birthday last week, and what I wanted to do for my birthday, everyone's like, oh, what do you want to do for your birthday? I was like, I want to cross stitch. I would love to have all the time in the world to cross stitch, and I was going to start Dark Queen of the Earth as my birthday start because I'm a Taurus girly, so it felt appropriate to do a Queen of the Earth start. And, you know, kind of luxurious because, you know, she's a big fancy lady with mushrooms and, like, fancy flosses. So I was very excited to start it. So we were at my parents', like, that was the day we left my parents. So this was also the day that the smoke hit southern Alberta quite poorly. So I was already sick and feeling like crap, like, whatever, right? So, you know, didn't get to do too much in the morning because, you know, packing to leave and smoke was bad and I was not feeling well. So, you know, we drive home, right? All good. And we're home and, like, I have a couple hours before, like, you know, light gets bad. So I have my Q-snap all set up. I've got my fabric all, and I've got my floss for the first color cut, and I'm doing my stitches. And my partner has the 2 kids. And then we hear a noise. And explosion seems dramatic, but like a muffled explosion, like a pop, you know, like there was a noise. And both of us were like, what the hell? Like, we have both like, what happened? So we had to do some investigation. And the window that's actually right here broke. It's one of the windows that you can slide up and down, and like one of the springs forcibly ejected itself upwards, so the whole window is... Sir, you... Cats. Chaos. So it forcibly ejected itself through the plastic, so we had to deal with that and close it up, and so... You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's my birthday, you have the kids, that's your problem. Like, I mean, I wish, but no. So, my Dark Queen of the Earth on this beautiful, beautiful, I don't even know if this is upside down. I got that much done. This is all I got to do with my birthday. Yep. See? Yep. What do you want for your birthday? Whole day of cross stitching. I got, like, what, 20 stitches done. It's life, you know. And then this is also kind of where I fell off the rails with all my, like, stitch mayhem plans and all that, because I spent the next couple days really sick, air quality, packing up a lung, like, just on the couch trying to half sleep while also keeping an eye on the toddler and the baby, and just like, so I didn't get too far. I did still have 2 stitch-alongs that I did get work on. I will show this. This is the Morbid Cabinet Curiosities Stitch Along by TheStitchCrypt. And as you can see, I just got the very tippy top of the cabinet done. No particular reason. This is just dark fabric, dark floss, and I stitch slow. So, and I made counting errors a couple times, and sometimes you can roll with counting errors, sometimes you can't. So, with those ones, I couldn't roll with them. So, very slow and steady progress, which, that is life. I've kind of already accepted that I will not be staying on top of this stitch along. Like, I mean, the first drop is on the second. I'm nowhere even close to the frame, even if I just want to do the black outline for the frame. So I've just kind of accepted that I will make an honest effort to stitch on it once a week and be behind. And that is normal for me. I have 6 stitch-alongs that I bought either at the time they started or like whatever, and have made no progress on. And some of them are like a year old. Like I got the LolaCrow's Haunted Library. Well, I think it was like release 3 or release 4. I got the fabric. I got it all kitted up. Did not stick a single stitch in it. I got to work on that though. But that's nice because I'm doing a lot better on the Greenhouse of Oddities. Like, ta-da! Yeah, so obviously, frame's not done. I was about 25% done the frame before the first drop, which, you know, that's actually really good for me. I'm proud of that. And as you can see, I've been working on the first planting, and that one's actually going pretty good. I'm going to be getting more done today after this, because I was missing some colors. So my plan with this is, like, I'll get the plantings done, and then once I'm done the planting, I will go and keep working on the frame. and that should keep me fairly, like, working on it. Like, as long as I think I did the math, and if I work on the frame every single day about 100 stitches, 150 stitches, then I'll still be done in like 3-4 weeks, and that way, you know, I'll be caught up on it. And yeah, it's for fun. Like, whatever. We'll see how far I get. I do like trying to stay on top of it, because that is fun. Like, the excitement of like being able to stitch the drops right away is fun, but that is what it is. And on that note, we're going to kind of go right into haul, because this ties in. My partner went out on his motorcycle today and picked me these up from Michael's. I have, you know, 310, and the 2 colors I was missing for the first planting. So this one was only 4 stitches, but I feel like it gets used more later on in the pattern. So I'm set to keep going. I love Michael's. Like, I hate going to Michael's. I hate searching through the floss, but the online app is also really annoying, but it's also kind of convenient, because like sometimes like I'll have like the baby on me, and the toddler is also like, oh, I want to snuggle too, so I'm like this, and then I can just go through the app and order floss or look at things I want to buy. So it works out. And talking about things I want to buy, I had a really weird haul in the last couple weeks. So the first thing, I'm not going to open this up because it's not that interesting or exciting to look at. I just want to show the size. This is all scrap fabric. As you can see, it is quite large. It is quite full. And it's mostly white and cream. I think there's like some green, dark green, and like some pinks and reds in there. This lady in Southern Alberta was selling it on Facebook Marketplace. This was like 20 bucks. And some of it's not usable. Like, this lady's like me. Like, I will measure, and, you know, like, rather than starting in the center, I like to start at the top left and make, you know, and I don't use a 3-inch margin. I'll probably use a 1.5 to 2-inch border. And then I'm like, oh, look how much fabric I can still use. And it's like a 3-inch high by 7-inch, like, and it's like, what's going on this piece? You don't, like, nothing fits on that size. Like, you would have just better to start in the center and, like, you know, have it nicely framed, easy to frame, or like finish it however. But my brain is like, ooh, I should be, you know, very careful with this fabric and try and get a second piece out of it. And this lady is exactly the same as me. So there's quite a few like scraps. Let me see if I can just rustle, and yeah. Oh, perfect. This is actually a really great example. So there's tons that are like this, right? Or like they'll be like, you know, cut. So it'll be like 2 pieces like this. What am I going to stitch on this? Probably nothing. I could probably do like a little bit, like a very small, maybe a letter or something. So it's not that it's completely useless, but some of it's like, okay, like probably shouldn't, like didn't need to save this. But then there's enough that I could be using for other things. Like the two of my 3 Earth Day starts have been on that, because I really like the idea of starting, you know, Earth Day inspired pieces on recycled, reclaimed fabric. And that's one of the reasons I haven't started on more of them, because I have to go through and like measure and see, oh, okay, this piece here is the right size for this. And I want to do some dyeing and experimenting, because I have a bunch of scraps to play with, so might as well. So that is that one batch, and I'm just going to take a quick break and pull everything forward now that I've got all my projects out of the way. Okay, so continuing on to that whole like good luck thing. My parents were in town, and we went out and we were checking out, like, you know, the thrift stores and things. And I scored all these 18 count fully sealed bits, like this of Ida. So I think, yeah, they're all Charles Craft. They're all like white. So I scored these, and then this bag of ribbon had a bunch of white floss in it. And yeah, this was 10 bucks, and I was very happy with it. My mom was a bit embarrassed because I had been sitting in the car with the sleeping babies. And then she's like, oh yeah, there's nothing there for craft supplies. And I was like, okay, like I want to go check, because like I have some other stuff I wanted to check for. And I just swung by the craft section, and I was like, she doesn't know what she's looking for. Like, she tried. I appreciate it, but it was like, so I come back and she's like, oh, where were those? And I was like, in the craft section, Mom. But now she knows to look for tubes, so we'll get there. It's actually really cute. She's thinking about getting back to cross-stitching, so I've been showing her some free designs, and like she really wants a Q-snap, so we're going to get her set up when she's probably more in the winter. She's much too busy in her garden. And then, so when we were staying with them, I went and checked out their thrift store. I got all these old magazines. I think they're all Christmassy, honestly. Yeah, and they were like 50 cents each. I actually left a bunch behind because I just kind of did a quick flip through to make sure there was at least one pattern I was interested in. So, yeah, nice. Couple things like, gosh, where are these? What year are these from? I should even. 2004. Yeah. 2004, 2006, 2005. Yeah. So, like, 15-year-old patterns. But, like, some of the Christmas ones are timeless, and they kind of remind me of the vibe of, like, my childhood Christmases, so I like that. And I can stitch these and then pass them along once I'm done with them. And then speaking about passing along, I follow this really fantastic embroidery artist. She's local to Calgary on Instagram. Her name is, well, her handle is Syrup Stitches. I know I've shared some stuff of hers in the past because she's been doing some really cool, like, things with stump work and, like, mushrooms. And she's always posting about the things that she finds on her stories. And I'm like, where the hell are you going for thrift stores in Calgary? Like, I am not finding these things. Like, she's always like, I found these hoops, I found these hoops. And it's like, girl, like, I go to thrift stores all the time. And, like, I rarely get lucky. And, like, but she had somebody pass her on a whole bunch of stuff. And, like, she kept the flosses and things. And she posted on her stories like, I have all these cross-stitch things. I don't cross-stitch. Anyone want to come claim them? And I claimed them. And it was ridiculously excessive. Like, I'm just going to show the stack of stuff that I picked out to keep myself, which is this. And, like, some of it's just, like, you know, projects that are ripped from magazines. So, like, these aren't interesting. Just, like, can't really show them well. But then there's all these books, and I'm just going to do a quick. And, like, some of these are just kind of very old-fashioned, but I was like, well, maybe I'm in a flower mood. Like, I don't know. Like, potentially. I do like some more watercolor flowers. That's cats. Some birds. Cats in diapers, I thought was kind of funny. Cats. Oh, these one are like really cute, like little vintagey bunnies. Because again, they give me that childhood vibe. This I thought was really cool. Yeah. Flowers. Skipped a bunch there. Oops. Cats. Because I wasn't know, like, I don't know if I was 100% feeling them, but I was like, these could be interesting. Like, see what theirs. Legitimate Disney ones. I'm like, This one cracked me up because it's just so... Oh, sorry, I'll show you the Winnie Pooh. This one, because it's just like, look at that. This is so 80s, 90s, and I don't know how I feel about them. Oh my god. Oh. Look at these Christmas cats. Like, I am compelled by them, and I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, because... Oh my god, look at the Halloween cats. Like, this is my childhood. This is what I grew up thinking cross-stitch was. And it's not my favorite. Like, I don't want to stitch every single one of these, but some of these Halloween, like, those Halloween and Christmas ones, they're calling me. So this is, like I said, this is the stack I saved, and I'm going to go through it again now, that rather than be like, oh my god, take everything, right? So there's, like, another stack, like, twice as big as that, and I would love to give back to the community and things like that, so what I did was, but I'm also on maternity leave, and I just paid for Stitch North, so I'm a broke girly, so I can't afford to, like, ship them out or, like, anything like that. So what I did was I organized them into groups, like, okay, this is Christmas, this is religious proverbs, right? And I posted them onto the local Alberta cross-stitching Facebook group, just because that way people can pick it up, like, you know, that's easy, or, like, potentially I could drop them off, like, depending on what part of the city. So I did that, and I think I just posted 20 separate photos, and that was only, like, half of what I got through, and it's good. Like, it's not like it's, like, this huge thing, like, oh, everyone's like, oh my, like, you know, most parts, like, 1 to 3 people may be interested, but it's so nice that this is somebody's stash, and, like, it's all from, like, a lot of it is from, like, the 90s. Like, you know, from, like, the 90s, so it's as old as I am, and, like, and one thing, it's kind of sad that somebody has passed on, and, like, you know, the craft supplies have, you know, have gone, but I think it's nice that, you know, I appreciate what I'm giving, and I'm passing it on so other people will appreciate it, because, like, I want my stash to be appreciated. Like, I don't want, you know, when I pass it to be like, oh, here's all her craft stuff, you know, bye. I mean, like, some of it's not my style, like, some of the stuff I'm looking at, it's, like, it's very religious and 90s, but people are interested, and, like, just because it's not, you know, just because it's not my jam, doesn't mean it can't be your jam. So that's been nice. I'll have to figure that out, and it'll be kind of chaotic to try and get everyone to come and pick them up, or because I don't mind holding on to it too, because, like, I know there's a couple more retreats out in Edmonton area, so potentially someone from Calgary could bring it up, someone in Edmonton or to the retreat, and, you know, pass it on that way. So yeah, that's been nice. Actually, it's good. It's been nice to do something nice for the cross stitch community, my local community. you know, I like community. I like building that. And like speaking of community and hauls, I got bit hard by the Patreon bug this month. Um I'm good. Terrible with the names, so just put that there. It's like Fine Frog Stitching. She's released an Oak Leaf and Fox. Stitch Sprout did one with like these cute little ducks. And then Bad Stitch did a couple new ones, and there's like a strawberry mouse, and they're all so precious and cute, and so I subscribed because like I said, I want to be creative. I'm not. I can follow directions really well and like make some color choices. So I want to support the artists that I like and enjoy. And like Patreon's nice because like I can, do it for like one round and then, okay, like not financially able, cut back, and okay, yeah, I'm financially able this month. So that's what I've been doing. So I've got a lot of things I need to start and work on, and whew, that's a lot. I guess on that note too, I think I'm just going to talk about, do some shout outs. I really want to shout out Mud Puppy Stitchery. She has some of these fantastic designs. She's started designing, and they're like birds of prey with fruit. I think they're hilarious, and I love it. And she has a little segment where she, at the start of her Flosstubes, where she talks about like the raptor cams that she follows. So interesting. And she's enabling me by posting about her owl stitches for me to get off my butt and stitch some of my owl stitches, because I love that. I want to shout out the long distance stitchers. Me and not the Megan I'm doing the Big Bad Heart stitch along with, but the other Megan. Her and I are working on the Owl Forest Treasure Island stitch along. I barely started. That's why I didn't really show it today. I want more than a couple stitches in it. And so her and I have been chatting back and forth about that, and it's just been completely lovely. So together they have the long distance stitchers and fantastic channel. Michelle Bendy stitches. I love her. She has a weekly of Flosstube. She just had her 300th episode, actually 301 I think now. And again, she gives back to the community so much, and like that is like my fun part of the community is that. Anna of Anna's Books and Stitches. Her and I have been chatting a lot. I think we're both working on kitting up the new Modern Folk Embroidery Lord of the Rings piece, which I think I finally decided on my floss and fabric, but I'm not 100% positive. It's a big investment because the floss alone is going to be like $40, $50, $60, $70. So I need to love it. It is like 30,000 stitches, monochromatic, more or less. I need to love my floss. I need to love my fabric. Actually, I think the fabric I'm looking at is kind of like this color. So clearly I like the fabric, but the floss. I'm very antsy about the floss. Like if the metallics weren't such a pain in the butt to stitch with, I might be stitching with metallics, but I love myself too much to do that. Okay, so those are the ones I've been watching. Oh, Natasha, Britches Get Stitches. I mentioned her earlier. She's so kind, so caring, and just so supportive of everyone that I've met in the Flosstube community. Like, I think that's the most wonderful and beautiful part of this is like everyone I've met has just been like, oh my god, I love that. Oh my god, I love this. And like so many like the designers I have like these fun like conversations with, and I love sharing like their new patterns. Like I'm not going to stitch them, and like it's going to take me like 5 years to stitch what I have. But I love sharing the creative things they come up with, and it's just like I love the community. Yeah, everyone here is great. I've never met such a friendly, welcoming group of people, and I'm really happy I decided to take the jump into Flosstube just because I love talking to people, and so it's been fantastic that you love talking back to me. Yeah, with that, I think I'm going to call this the end of the cross-stitch portion because I'm starting to get a little sappy, and I didn't do much any other crafts, so it'll just be a quick little book talk, and then we are done. Alright, I'm back for the book talk portion. I just had to pull up my phone so I could actually try and say things properly. So I read a lot every week, and I don't like to recommend things I didn't fully love. So the first one I want to talk about is Pandora by Susan Stokes-Chapman. It is somewhat a reinterpretation of the Pandora myth, but it's what I've been wanting from Greek mythology, where they have the myth and they aren't doing just like a, yes, I completely agree with you, Orfeo. Like they're not doing just like a, retelling with maybe like I like the retellings with a feminist angle. Like they're beautiful, they're lyrical, but they're oversaturating the market and not always bring anything new or fresh. Or they are doing a terrible, terrible romance inspired off of them. I am so sick of all the Persephone and Hades retellings where it's like this dark romance, but really that's just abuse. That's just an abusive relationship. Like, that is not the love story. That is not the complications and the love story. It's just abuse and poor choices and no characterization. Like, that's not what I signed up for. Hey. Okay, so we're done with that. So yeah, I like this one because it's like, oh god, I'm gonna get the time period wrong. Like Victorian, Edwardian, like that sort of like industrial revolution age setting, and it is based on the Pandora's jar, but like they're modern, and like there's the links of Pandora's jar, and it's tied in, but it's not just about that. And it's basically a girl. There's a lady who's down on her luck. She's, you know, because she's having to live with her crappy ass uncle, and you know he's ruining the family name for the antique shop, and she's trying to find a way that she can strike out and be financially capable without him. And so that's what's going on. And then at the same time, there's a man who wants to be scholar, and he's having trouble getting his papers accepted because he's just not quite up to snuff. And then together, they've kind of their paths cross, and they find a way that they can be mutually beneficial in achieving their goals. And then things happen. So I liked it. It wasn't like an amazing 5 out of 5, but it was fresh enough for me that I feel like it could be enjoyable for someone else. I finished Gallant by V. Schwab. I feel like this to me was a little bit more young adult, so I kind of missed the target audience. It was enjoyable. It was a good audiobook, and I enjoyed it. I think I would like it if I was about 10 to 15 years younger. I did appreciate there was not a romantic subplot. It's just me so key. I'm like, there's always these romantic subplots, and why? Like that wasn't my prime thing as a kid and teenager. Like, yeah, I had crushes, but like, geez, let the adventures happen. Let things happen. Why are you saddling them with somebody useless? So yeah, so that was nice, like, family mysteries and solving them, and beautiful writing. So I enjoyed that one. And the last one I just finished, it was called The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder, and it was by David Grann. So I picked this up because I really liked his other book, which they're making into a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. We'll see how. Which is Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders, and the Birth of the FBI. I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one, so I picked this one up, and it's about like this ship that gets shipwrecked and Patagonia, and like one group gets back, and then they're like, oh my god, this was awful, and the Navy's like, oh my god, we're glad you survived, and then this other group gets back, and they're like, you left us to die, and then there's a trial, and cannibalism, fun things like that, just kind of piecing things together, and it was a good summary of everything that happened. It just wasn't as compelling as Killers of the Flower Moon, which is why I brought it up, because Killers of the Flower Moon, terrible book to read about, like, fantastic writing. So that one I would recommend. And I mean, like, maybe I'm just not into it. Sorry, I just saw the tail just flick right from the camera. Nuisances and chaos. And so yeah, so I just enjoyed that, and like, it's a bit of nonfiction, something interesting, and so I read those. Let's just do a quick thing while I watched. Me and my partner, we just finished the 2 seasons of Only Murders in the Building. Wow, we slept on that. We shouldn't have. That was fantastic. That was so funny. Like, we got my parents watching. It was that good. And so now I have to wait for the 3rd season. I didn't know I liked Selena Gomez that much until I watched that, because the last time I watched Selena Gomez in anything was in her Disney Channel days, because that was my sister's age. And yeah, wow, like, that, hilarious. That's, God, I'm actually go back and rewatch, like, because I like having things on that familiar in the background, and that is getting right up there with like Schitt's Creek for me as like background noise. And I mean, TikTok is trying to get me to rewatch Full House, even though it's been like 25 years since I watched that. But through TikTok, I seem to be watching bits and pieces of Full House enough that I'm like, might go back. And we're also, we watched Queen Charlotte, because who didn't? I really like the costumes on Queen Charlotte, and the chemistry, like, just fun escape fiction. Except it's really annoying because I was watching with my mom, and she kept asking me like this. I'm like, it's not historically accurate, Mom. Like, I don't know, because this isn't historically accurate. Like, kind of. So, because I was trying to explain like the baby race to her, but like, you don't get the fact that these guys are actually all these handsome young sons, they're supposed to be in like their 50s when this is happening, right? Like, they are wringing the last drop of the barrel for this. Not that, they're not all these like young, like she's a grandma and like her grandkid died, and her grandchild died delivering her great grandchild, and it looks like you don't get that emphasis on the show. And so like my mom kept asking me, I was like, well, I know he was mad, but I don't think he came that mad that young. I think it was more of a later life thing. And watching historical fiction with my mom and my partner, they know I'm interested in it, which is tends to be why we're watching it. So they start asking me questions, and it's like, it's inspired by. I don't know. They're all named Elizabeth. They're all named Mary. Like, keep it straight with your Marys and your Catherines. Like, I can't. I think the only one that was enjoyable was Catherine the Great, because they're not paying any attention to history. They've got the spirit of the shenanigans. That one's a great one. Watch that one. So yeah, that was my very chaotic return to Flosstube. Do some light editing and toss this out into the world, because then it's not over my head, and I've given myself 2 weeks until I get back to this. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for dealing with the interruptions, for the baby noise, the cat noise. We avoided the cat butt, but barely. You guys are very close to cat butt. So yeah, thank you again. Let me know if you're going to Stitch North. I'm week 2, so let me know. Like, I'm so excited about that, even though that's like 11 months away. And yeah, like, tell me what you're stitching on. Tell me what you're reading. I need some more book recs. I'm having swings and a misses right now. I need something fresh. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!